Senator Rand Paul is joining us now on the phone. Senator, we had just heard one report that you were there at the park this morning.
I was. I was out in the batting cage in right field when the first shots came. The first shot was kind of an isolated shot, and everybody kind of looks up and says, "Hey, what's that?" And you know, I grew up in the South, and it's not that uncommon to hear somebody hunting a shotgun. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm not really in the South. I'm in the city. But before we could think too much, people didn't drop down with the first shot. People thought, well, they weren't sure what it was, but it did sound like a gunshot, and it was pretty loud and pretty close. But then after that, we heard a succession of shots, 5, 10, 15 shots in a row. Steve Scalise, Representative Scalise, was at second base, so I'm way out in right field, and I'm outside of the fence, about a 10-foot fence where I am, and outside it. And so he goes down, but is moving and is crawling towards the outfield. There was 2 staff members on this other side of this 10-foot fence, and I'm behind a tree now, right next to the batting cage, and I'm seeing shots skipping off of the warning track right around these two.
Were the shots all coming from one place, Senator?
Well, that's a strange thing. At first, you're not sure. My instinct was they were coming from the third baseline, and I couldn't see the shooter, but I wasn't positive. Am I standing on the right side of the tree or the wrong side of the tree? And I'm looking around trying to determine if there's one shooter or 2 shooters. But the shots appear to be coming from third baseline, and then the more shots that were fired, there ended up being at least 50 or 60 shots fired. And at that point, people were dropping, and at least one of the staffers may have been hit in right field, and another one, I said, "Do you want to try to get out?" And all of a sudden, he was up, and he was over the 20-foot fence in about 2 seconds. And I've never seen anybody climb a fence that fast in my life. And he came tumbling over the other side. We were behind the tree, and the shots were continuing. And I think he was reloading. And at that point, you know, a burst of more gunfire came. And so he and I were discussing, you know, what to do. And I felt like my instinct was that he was moving and that he could just move around the entire field and shoot.